Hello friends, I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Hope everything in your world is great. Everything here is pretty okay. Today, on the backs of mental health yesterday, I wanted to talk a little bit about what just happened in Vegas. So people have asked my opinion on the topic, especially considering that I've shown off my guns on the channel before, and I am a gun owner. I own currently probably six-ish guns, and I do have opinions. I don't want to talk specifically about the massacre itself because there's still so much speculation and so many wildly inaccurate things that it's going to take a long time to figure out what exactly happened there. But I did have friends who were there and witnessed it firsthand, and it really makes you stop and think when something like that happens. All around the world it happens, but when it happens close to home, when it happens to people that you know, it changes things, right? I own guns. I own a lot of guns. Handguns, shotguns, rifles. I have a little bit of everything. The handguns are for personal defense, though I don't normally carry a gun. It's just something I can't in my job because I work in school systems, so I can't have it there. So it just never really became a part of my daily routine to put my gun on my hip. But I do have it here for home defense. I live in an area that is, it's not unsafe, but there, are within walking distance of my house, there are some areas that are questionable. And meth is a huge issue right now in West Virginia. And having done meth in my youth, I can tell you that it makes you do crazy things. So I do keep a gun here. That being said, what happened in Las Vegas is an absolute tragedy that unfortunately probably wouldn't have been avoided had we had stricter gun control laws. This man that did what he did raises no flags. Zero. Had he applied to own a weapon, he would have been granted that weapon. Had we had some sort of sanity check or background check, he would have passed it all. And I think that if we implement those sorts of laws, that's going to be the vast majority of people. The people who commit these crimes aren't crazies. Like, they're not wild people. They're that, you hear every single time one of these massacres happens, wherever it is in the world, I never imagined he would do that. No, of course not. Right? Because that's just not who we are as a species. But that being said, that does not mean that I'm saying that we shouldn't have gun control because it won't work. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that gun control is definitely something that needs to be considered. Now, in America, we have this personal pride issue of the American citizens should always have the rights to defend themselves against a corrupt government. And that's the entire intention of the Second Amendment. It was to protect us, the people, from us, the government. If the government tries to overstep its bounds, the people could rise up against it, such as we did in the Civil War. I'm not advocating for the Civil War, don't get me wrong. Those people had really not good ideals. But that was the point. The point was we could overthrow our government if our government got out of hand. In today's society, guns wouldn't do that. Like, there is no situation now where we could rise up as a population with guns and overthrow our government. It just wouldn't happen. It couldn't happen. Because today's wars aren't fought with guns, they're fought with dollars and attrition and business. And so this antiquated belief that we need to be able to defend ourselves against our government is just, it's what I just said. It's antiquated, it's outdated. And it simply just isn't the way that life exists right now. It's not the reality. Should we be prepared for the apocalypse so that American citizens are armed to defend themselves against foreign powers? Okay. Like, you could have that argument all you want, but the reality of it is there are hundreds of countries that have very strict gun laws. You know, hunting rifles only, hunting shotguns only, that where something like this massacre couldn't have happened had that person been subjected to stricter gun control laws. And I think it's something worth talking about. Do I think it's going to change anytime soon? No. Unfortunately, the NRA has a lot of money. And money makes laws in this country. So, what do? As a population, we say, enough, right? Like, we have to band together and say, you know what? This is absolutely ridiculous. We need to put some sort of control measures into place. You know, I already said that guns are not going to protect us from our government. So if that's not their purpose anymore, if they can't serve that purpose anymore, what purpose can they serve? Well, they can serve shooting and hunting. Two things I enjoy doing, and two things that I would use my guns responsibly for. Neither of those things require semi-automatic weapons of any kind. Pistols, rifles, I don't need semi-automatic for that. If I, as a hunter, if I need to take more than one shot, I have failed. If I'm injuring an animal, I have failed. And so bolt-action rifle is perfectly fine for me. Now, that being said, if you put a bolt-action rifle in my hand, in 10 minutes of firing, I could do a lot of damage, even with a bolt-action rifle. But the likelihood of that happening is severely reduced. I'd like to keep the conversation alive about doing something. I'm just not sure how. So, comments below. That's what it's here for. Today is Wednesday. I'm going to go play board games, so I'm kind of rushing this one out. I don't know that I have a concise thought in this video other than my opinion is that we, as a gun owner and as a gun enthusiast, I would champion better gun control. And I say that in a state that has essentially no gun control. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving a comment. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from popsci.com. Is espresso stronger than regular coffee? It's an extremely intense way to experience coffee and is unlike drip coffee in that you're consuming it over a short period of time in a small volume. It's stronger than coffee by volume, but a shot of espresso has much less caffeine than a small 8-ounce cup of coffee.